I'm going to have to let it play. I love this too much.
It definitely gets you excited.
It does, doesn't it? Gets you all pumped up, ready for an NBA game. Unfortunately, you're not listening to NBA audio, at least not today. Welcome to the Rude Dog Show. This is your host, Rudy Reyes. Man, we have a very impactful game. We're talking about great things. And when I say great things, I mean from all different sources. I love to network, love talking to new guys. And look, it's the first day of March, so why not? New month, new guys, new opportunities. And of course, we have the Combine headed down in Indianapolis in just a few days. And of course, for you basketball enthusiasts, this is right where the rubber meets the road. Lots of NCAA basketball going on right now. Look, this is called March Madness, just in case you hadn't heard about that. Look, staring right in the eyeball of people out in the NFL genre are the hopefuls. You'd certainly miss out if you believe they're all in Indianapolis. I know better than that. I've spoken to a lot of them. They're not always going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana. But many times a player falls through the cracks and usually doesn't have a chance to either showcase their skills or not given an opportunity to showcase their skills. And you can always try to point fingers and say, well, this is where the blame may lay on. Somebody else's shoulder, perhaps. Maybe an ear that didn't quite hear what message you were trying to convey to them. However, it's an inevitable knee-jerk reaction, which can be misdirected and sometimes clearly overstated. However, the ugly reality is that some of the talent out there can barely scratch the surface as to what NFL teams may be looking for to add to their active or maybe even their practice squad roster. That's just the way it is. It's a business. That's what they're there to do, is evaluate the talent that will help increase their business. Real simple, right? You would think so. Look, I've spoken to plenty of athletes who either haven't made it to a regional combine, much less haven't even received an invite to a combine, and those players who made it to rookie mini camps just to be tossed around like, well, a football. And end up going to one team to the other because there's just quote-unquote interest just to be waved again. It's a huge roller coaster. It can take a toll on them, not only personally, physically, but mentally as well. When you consider pressure to perform, one would suggest that student athletes aren't professionals until they make it into the NFL, NBA, or maybe even the Major League Baseball circuit. Is that true? Are they actual professionals when they reach those destinations? Yeah, it's an open-ended conversation, and clearly it's based on perception. Would you consider them to be professionals because they haven't made it to the NBA or Major League Baseball, maybe even NCAA coaching ranks? Does that not make them a professional? Wouldn't they exit college being a professional? Interesting. Food for thought, I'd say. And of course, the Rude Dog Show loves the food for thought. It's open interpretation. That's all I can say. When you think about the types of evolution in regards to this question, and it goes right along the same lines as saying, should NCAA student athletes be paid? That's very touchy. Some people believe in that and some people don't. I personally, I don't believe so at all. They should not be paid for what they're doing. Why? Because they're going to college and they pay. Why? Well, to get an education, of course. That's why I go to school. I think that's why everybody else goes to school as well. So you can pay money in, and eventually when you graduate, which I'll be doing in May, be able to get themselves a pretty decent job, which I hope to be doing after May, maybe even before then. Who knows? But when you think about the interpretation of what it takes to go through years and years and years of an education, if that program happens to have a football program associated with it, a basketball program associated with it, and heaven forbid, a volleyball, yes, I said volleyball because it is a sport. Look, this opening rant brought to you by SarugoMilk.us, official vitamin sponsor. Of course, as you guessed it, Starling Marte, two-time Gold Glove winner, 2 times. I can't even imagine winning one or a Gold Glove, but that's kind of heavy. Anyway, Starling Marte knows what that's all about. He's the official vitamin consumer of SarugoMilk.us. Go check yours out today. Get your boost. Get what's needed Ugamail.us. I'd like to welcome my very first guest to the show, at least in a new month. Again, new month, new guests, new ideas, new thoughts. This is a linebacker who spent his time with various IFL, indoor football leagues, for those that don't really know who it is. And we seem to have a caller at the entry part of the show. Welcome to the Rude Dog Show. This is Rudy.
Oh, is this the Rude Dog?
This is Rudy Reyes.
Okay, good. I'm a first time caller. Just want to be sure, first of all.
Okay. How can I help you?
Well, okay. You discuss all sports in your show, or certain topics, or?
It depends on any given day. Today I have Niko Sierra on as a linebacker trying to get to the NFL. Would you have a question?
Well, I was wondering if you knew anything about if you keep up on the trade deadline for the NHL, which happened the expired date at 3:00.
Well, in all fairness to you, I've been keeping up on it, but it's more of a Twitter dialogue that I've been trying to keep up with it. The Panthers have made moves. The Penguins really haven't done too much in the way of free agency. And when you're talking about teams in the NHL that you're really trying to become accustomed to, I can't really speak on behalf of every single, for lack of a better term, teams who have made those transactions, but I can rest assure you I can certainly talk about it at a different time. Perhaps tomorrow would be a good time to talk a little bit more about the trade deadline. I may have a special guest on with me as well that can probably give you better insight than myself in relation to the NHL.
Wow. What time would that be?
I'm actually on 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific time.
5 o'clock.
You got it.
All right. Yeah, because you're based in New York, right?
No, actually, the company is based out of Ohio. I happen to be on the West Coast in Southern California.
Oh, one of those deals. Because we had the same thing with another service I'm associated with. We're all over the country.
Oh, well, there you go then. You have the idea.
Yeah, I'm still breaking on this. I've only had this for a short time, so I'm still, kind of learning the ropes.
No, hey, it's not a problem. Thanks for calling in.
And all right, but I want to get your thoughts with the tournament around the corner. Do you see any upsets like who is not going to be in? Do you think?
Not going to. Are we talking NCAA football or basketball or?
No, NCAA men's hoops.
Oh, men's hoops. Well, in all fairness, the way that I look at it is this: you have Duke that keeps losing game after game. You have Villanova. You have you have your Syracuses, and you have your teams that just continue to know how to win. Kentucky is certainly a good example of that. As far as going to the Final Four, maybe even the Final Eight. There are still so many teams, and you know what? In all fairness, there's still so much to decide on that circuit that it would be unfair to suggest that any given team will take it all. But if I had a bet, and I'm not really a betting man, but if I had a bet, I'd say that Kentucky or the Kansas Jayhawks would end up taking it all.
Well, I was asking a question last night on another show on one of your shows on the network. And they were asking if there was a coach, a college coach now, mind you, saying that it's time for them to hang him up. Who do you think should be the one to go?
Well, I mean, you look at a lot of the coaches around the league. You have, Roy Williams, North Carolina. You have Coach K, who I think, for lack of a better term, has lost some of the control over some of his players.
Doing so well recent times, so
Well, it's just a matter of finding out who has the better control over the types of players that he has on his roster and how they're playing for him. Have they bought into his system? You have Grayson Allen, prime example of that. It clearly falls out of the love for a lot of people because of his on-court antics and the way that he holds himself, which is not an atypical Duke player. So this could have been an anomaly. I don't know, but there's a lot of questions surrounding his issue as far as what Coach K and the Duke organization is going to do about it. Clearly, they send their message across to him. Maybe it's something that they'll talk about in the future in regards to scouting different players that actually fit for the system and in turn be able to be more of a contributor. I guess we dropped off. I'm having some technical difficulties here. My apologies here. This is kind of what we deal with from time to time, unfortunately. I'm on Facebook Live, and Niko, if you're hearing me, give me a call back. I want to continue where we left off. Matter of fact, we didn't really leave off anywhere other than trying to get you involved in the show. So yeah, please call back. All right, well, we have Niko now calling back, so let's see what his take is. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're just having some connectivity issues here today, so my apologies to you in advance. And I have no idea what that was. But, again, you call in, I have to give you an answer. I got to be able to, talk about it. So I watch all sports to make sure that happens. Anyway, I don't know what happened there, but I apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show with Niko Sierra, linebacker, who not only comes from Sacred Heart University, but also has built up a pretty solid resume while playing indoor football. Look, you've shown outside versatility. You stand 6'2", 200, 33 pounds, give or take. Shows versatility in all positions, outside linebacker, inside linebacker. But what really rises above all of that, being able to put that all together, if you could surmise one exact position you prefer over the other, which one would it be, inside or outside linebacker?
Well, I just want to start by saying thank you for having me on the show, Rudy. I'm glad to be here. But if I had to pick out of the two, I really like playing both, but I really like middle linebacker just because you can really go off your instincts, and I like getting downhill, and I like playing the run. At the outside position, you have a little bit more coverage responsibilities, but that middle linebacker spot I really do enjoy.
Well, again, being a defensive back, you have a lot of versatility, and being able to play multiple positions really shows how versatile you are and how much a team can value somebody who has that type of versatility.
Yes,
but the versatility.
Yes, sir.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, at that spot, when you come to a team, you really want to get there at all aspects. Whatever you can do to help that organization get better, whether it's special teams, filling in for a position if there's an injury. Anything that you can do to help the organization and team get the win, that's really what you want to do.
That's exactly right, and you've shown it year in, year out while at Sacred Heart University, playing indoor football. It started in high school, though. Look, you have passion and determination, but not only as a person on the field to be a drive stopper, but what that also shows is your ability to do everything that you have to do in order to become a viable component of an NFL roster. As an example, 2016, you assembled a really you were at your highest of highs. Playing 15 games, you had 126 tackles. That's huge. 5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble returns, 3 interceptions, 5 pass breakups, and 8 blocked passes. That's huge, and that's in 2016. Do you believe that right now, based on how you're playing in 2017, that you can surpass that type of athleticism and ball awareness to contribute to an NFL roster?
Well, going into this season, you come in all season, you look at what you did, and you try to just up your level. You always want to shoot for the moon and shoot as high as you can, but if you don't make it there, you're always reaching for the stars, So whatever I can do to better myself, whether it's my technique in coverage, whether it's my eye, working on my reads, anything that I can do to get better, I'm trying to work at that every day in practice, staying in the weight room, keeping the body healthy, trying to maintain, if not get a little bit stronger. Those are all really things that you want to focus on during the season. And then you also got, in the indoor game, you got 7 guys around you. In the outdoor game, you got 10 guys around you. You always want to depend on each other and know what each other are doing, so then you can just play football as fast as you can. You're not thinking, you're more reacting. Exactly
right. Look, it's about reacting when the play calls for it instead of overreacting. In other words, when you become part of a play, you're trying to stop it at the line of scrimmage. But what that also does is enables the guys around you, your team players, is who they really are. because you're playing as a unit, be able to communicate visually without giving hand signals or anything of that nature to let them know that, look, you have their back just in case something happens. It's about unity. It's about pulling it together. And when you pull it together, great things can happen. Great things can happen individually.
Absolutely.
Great things can happen on a collective basis. So, and that's something that you've shown time and time again. Give me a situation where there was no hand signals necessary on any given play at Sacred Heart, or maybe while playing in the indoor football league, to where you were able to stop that runner at the line or maybe break up a pass in form of an interception in 2016.
Well, really, I mean, just during the week, you come in with a scheme, you kind of look at tendencies with teams, and you have a scouting report, and then once the week goes on, you practice, and then once those things happen on the game, you almost don't even have to check things. You kind of already know when a motion, they go to a strength, or they change formations, you're able to really kind of just bind to that game plan and know everybody's on the same page, and then you kind of just react and play football at that point.
Well, that's really what it's about, right? You're playing a collective game, but individual awards and accolades and recognition can also be a very solid part as to how well you do your job. A lot of players in the NFL who don't get these huge gigantic contracts, they get franchise tags slapped on them instead, which can take away from their confidence. We actually can take away from what they're trying to accomplish, but you have to understand the signal that's being sent by an NFL team. Today's this whole free agency situation hasn't even really started yet. Yet a lot of teams are really putting their players on notice, saying, "Look, we value you at a certain degree, but that's it. That's as far as we're taking you." And that's where the franchise tag, whether albeit exclusive or not exclusive, it really doesn't matter. A franchise tag's a franchise tag. Let's step back a little bit. Because to my understanding, you've always been a freakishly athletic person from a Longmeadow, Massachusetts area. I've never even heard of it. Then again, I'm on the West Coast, so not a big shocker there. I don't hear a lot of things going on the East Coast. But you were a very well-established high school football player. And that has been shown throughout your time there. And when I look at Longmeadow High School, where you found yourself being impressive early as an impact player, accolades in high school, being named All-Massachusetts State linebacker, try to say that 10 times fast is not something that I can do. But you were very versatile. I mean, you established yourself by being one of the hardest working backs in high school. But what types of things did you feel as though they were natural to you to sniff out when play calls were made offensively by the opposing team?
You really, once you get into an organization, everybody has a role, and back when I was in high school, I was a little bit bigger than some people, and
You still with me? We lost you there.
well, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But what I was saying is, I mean, back in high school, everybody has a role, whether you're the player that doesn't play as much, whether you're more of a scout player, giving the team looks, so we can get better. And I mean, in games, I knew everybody worked during the week for that win. Everybody gets that win at the end of the week. So my role in high school, I was a little bit bigger. I was a little bit more athletic than some people. So I really took that upon myself to work extra hard, just to make sure everybody felt that win at the end of the week, so everybody could be happy and everybody continued working and just keep the whole team morale up and everything like that.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about morality. It's about, giving things a realistic view when you're talking about the types of work that you put into your skill, refining your skill set. And the refinement doesn't stop even in high school or even college, and not even in the NFL. I'd spoken to Tyrone Carter one time, former DB for the Steelers, and clearly, two-time Super Bowl winner. But when you look at what it takes for him to get there, he told me, he said, look, it's not the process of getting there. I could play all this time in high school, I could play this way in college, but it's maintaining at the NFL level. Case in point today, James Harrison, linebacker for the Steelers. Speaking of linebackers, signed a 2-year, multi-million-dollar deal that will take him into 2019. possibly even longer. But the guy's 38 years old, so it's not as if he's getting any younger, but he wants to retire as Steeler. When you think about the retirement aspect, you're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Getting an opportunity, and look, coaches, scouts, if you don't recognize who Niko Sierra is, check him out. His film's all over the place. He's a highlight player. He's played in the IFL. He's a solid guy, solid character. He's a freakish athlete. I don't know what else I could say. I noticed recently that you'd cut your hair, and you had long flowing locks at one time.
I did. Back in college, I had some nice locks. I was trying to go Troy Polamalu style, and it was nice, give you a little competitive edge. You try to intimidate people in a sense.
Well, that's kind of what it's about, but then you cut the hair off. It wasn't like a Samson move where you cut the hair off and all of a sudden you find yourself on the weaker end of the spectrum. No, you really found yourself getting even better, becoming even better. So the anti-Samson move, of course. But look, did you believe that you had shown enough being named? Well, and we lost him. Again, technical difficulties, my apologies. Hopefully this won't continue to happen. But again, I have no control over that, so my apologies in advance. But look, well, there he is. What do you know? So, look, Niko, apologize about the delay. The connectivity problem is really huge around here. But thank God it's not Reno's. We'd have a real huge problem here. So, look, did you believe that you'd shown enough being named? I mean, was being named All-Massachusetts State linebacker like the ultimate goal for you? Or do you believe that it was purely a stepping stone allowing for you to recognize what you needed to do to get to the next level?
You always like accolades as a player. It kind of just shows you that your hard work paid off for that season. But you never suffice with that. You want to continue growing as a player, as a man, and everything like that. So I took that in, and I gave myself a pat on the back. But I knew coming in that there was a lot more to be done. My journey isn't done yet. Every single day I'm working. I mean, we had practice earlier today. I already went to the gym. I got in the ice bath just to keep the body fresh and everything like that. And I'll probably be spending the rest of my night watching film and game planning for this week.
Well, that's really what it's about, is planning. Planning. Did you plan on knowing what it was like to receive a scholarship? And did you know, was there any inkling whatsoever that you were going to get the scholarship to Sacred Heart University? Or, I mean, did somebody just send it in, did you get it in an envelope? Or were you expecting to get to the next level and at least be offered an opportunity by Sacred Heart University to go to that next level?
Honestly, after signing day, February came around, I really was drawn just to one school, and that was UMass Amherst. It's a local school in Massachusetts, 1A school now. But Sacred Heart came to me very late, and they offered me a scholarship and a lot of money, and UMass at the time just changed coaches, and the coaches didn't see me as what the old coach did, so. You gotta look at that as I'm going for an education as well, and it's a private Catholic school. You can make and it's a great school. They have a wealth business program there. They have a lot of great things over at that campus. It maybe wouldn't be that top 1A school. It's a 1AA school, smaller school, but I went there with the intentions, to get an education and to work my butt off and see what I can do. I knew I believed in my talents and my skills, and I just wanted to continue growing and playing and working on my craft just to get a little bit better every day.
Well, that's what it's about. Again, it's the evolution of a player, the evolution of a mindset. And coaches, GMs, scouts, listen to this man. Listen to what he has to say. If you're looking for a passionate, well-manicured, hardworking, productive player who can contribute to any given locker room, then you can certainly look at Niko Sierra. He's a linebacker. He's readily available. You can talk to him. You can work him out and have the obligatory conversation with him. Look, check it out. Niko, when I think of an individual player who's shown enough, I always witness the improvement factor. It always plays a part of the overall ability to dissect who an actual guy is. But I noticed that we can talk about your footwork, we can talk about your offline speed, burst off a tackle or a guard, and you certainly have to continue to prosper as a player. I'm sure injury was something you weren't expecting at the end of your senior year. What was it about that injury, And despite being named captain, you were steering the ship nearly blind because you're on the sideline. I mean, you can't be a part of physical workouts to be the leader on the field. So, look, you've shown your leadership qualities enough that the team named you captain, but as you attend Sacred Heart, what qualities of leadership did you believe would help you not only at the collegiate level, but allow them to name you captain?
Going in, I as a younger guy, freshman, sophomore year, I wanted to buy in. There was all the guys ahead of me that were working very hard. They were showing me the way, kind of introducing the defense, teaching me different things, little techniques and whatnot. And then I kind of just carried that on. I've always either been the one that's going to just scream and yell and everything like that. I try to be one that leads by example and just someone that can be reliable, somebody that you can trust, and somebody that's always going to be doing their job, and I've always put in the work, I'm always trying to get better every single day, whether it's eyes on screen watching film, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's conditioning, whether it's just getting my body right. I really have a goal of mine, and that is to get to that level, get to the highest level possible that I can. Ever since I was young, I used to go to I have 3 younger brothers and a sister. We used to go to games, and instead of watching the games, I would go find the hill and just run up the hill. This is something that I've wanted since I've been young, and I want to continue to grow every single day just to get a little bit better, and just consistency is key. It really is, and I truly believe that if you buy in, that good things can happen.
It definitely can, and they've seen something good happening in you, enough so to name you captain. And look, leadership qualities are something that not everybody can possess. I mean, you're either a follower or a leader. What leadership qualities do you believe NFL teams are looking at right now, and do you believe they'll be able to take notice of yours?
Well, I absolutely hope they do. As a leader, you always want to be reliable. You always want to be trustworthy. You always want to be hardworking, and doing the right thing, practicing like a pro, acting like a pro on and off the field. You wear organizations' team name across your chest, and people look up to that. They really do. Whether it's on the field or it's off the field, you've got eyes on you at all times, and you really want to show yourself as a player, as a man. That you are someone that they really want to buy into, and that they want to have you as part of their organization. Because every single time that you step on that field, you just got to show out and show everybody that you are someone that they can rely on and trust, and know that you're going to work your butt off.
Well, that's what it's about. It's called work till you drop. You got to put in the grind. They recognize it. They see it. I hope NFL teams do see it. I hope scouts are listening right now. General managers need to listen as well. Why? Because you can't rest on having a guy who performs, but is a complete catastrophe in the locker room. Case in point, Rodolfo released by the New York Jets, but still owed millions of dollars. He didn't play because he enjoyed the game. He may have originally, but as it stands right now, you have a lot of dissension going on in the NFL for players who clearly don't care about their team. They don't care about their off-field antics, and they just continue to make complete, jerks of themselves in front of other people that otherwise had looked up to them previously. So a lot of things to be said for a guy with character, who has speed, pass breakups, tackles, sacks, and when you could have a guy all-encompassing, why not have a guy like this? I don't understand. To not have a guy like this, I certainly believe that he is certainly overlooked. There is no doubt about it. This guy made second-team All-IFL, and I appreciate the type of individual that he is. I have an opportunity, being a part of an NFL roster, practice squad or not. Look, if he doesn't make it on a team, at least what can be done is he can go to a team that utilizes his talents. And we lost him again. Look, second team All-IFL, time and time again, you learn how to separate who you were from people in the pack. And when I think of, people, kids, players, student athletes trying to get to the next level, you certainly know how to do that. Matter of fact, so much so that you landed a linebacker spot for the Nebraska Danger. I believe that when you think of an NFL-type player, such as yourself, so I believe you're NFL talent, there's certainly no doubt about it. that knows how to further separate himself from somebody else, whether it's on the field or off the field, not getting involved in off-field issues, who's done it in high school, college, indoor football, you'd perfectly fit in that category. I truly believe that you will. That's an elite pool of candidates, and the NFL certainly needs to look at them because this is where the hungry guys are at. It's not; these aren't the guys on the top of the tree per se. My thought process is this. I think that your NFL talent, I believe an NFL team would certainly prove itself to be a very solid contender by acquiring your services on their roster sooner rather than later.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Niko, where can everybody contact you? Where can they find your body of work and hopefully be able to give you an opportunity to try out for an NFL team?
I do have a Twitter account. It is at Nicholas Sierra 5. That is spelled Nikolas Sierra SIERRA number 5. That'll be the Twitter account. I do have some YouTube videos of highlights of college, some IFL season. That is all on YouTube. You just type in Niko Sierra IFL and all of those will pop up. And I do have an email that is Niko, Niko, Sierra, SIERRA 44 @gmail.com. And those are probably the best ways to contact me.
Sounds good to me. Ladies and gentlemen, Niko Sierra, linebacker. Look, Niko, I want to thank you for your time today. Look, coaches, look at Niko Sierra. Look at his body of work. It speaks for itself. But the reason why he's here on the show, so that he has a platform to talk to you, and that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. To get the talent known that you otherwise would just walk by, not bat an eye, not turn your head to, and look at it and say, wow, this guy could be something. And he can, given an opportunity to do so at the NFL level. He's a viable component. If you want a linebacker who has all the strengths from a character to an athletic strength in footwork, a swim move, being able to get into the backfield, sack quarterbacks, do everything to disrupt the offensive flow, Niko Sierra is your guy. It's simple. As I can say it's simple, but you know what? The process is not simple. It's actually very difficult. We're going to talk to Anthony Gilbert when we come back from a commercial. Niko, if there's anything else I can do for you, let me know, because I believe that you can be the cog that gets everybody else working.
Thank you so much, Rudy. I'm blessed to be on the show, and I'm so happy that we got in contact and you're able to help me out. You know, I'm so grateful and just happy, and I just can't wait to continue working and getting better every single day.
You're very welcome. And like I said, if there's anything else I can do for you, let me know. I'll be more than happy to offer my assistance like I do with everybody else that comes on the show, regardless of what, you know, where they come from a talent base or whatnot. So, again, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. If anything else transpires, let me know, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Niko Sierra, linebacker. You can find him on the Nebraska Danger IFL team I'm trying to think of the actual place where they play. I don't know the stadium per se, but
Grand Island, Nebraska.
Grand Island, Nebraska. I can't say it like I can New York. It just has a different flow to it. Anyway, I got to go. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to a commercial break. This is Rudy Reyes of the Rude Dog Show. Look, make sure you download the app. It's on Google. It's on iTunes. You can check out the other half of the show, hopefully without any technical issues. But if that's the case, then so be it. We'll roll with the punches. This is Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show on WBLZSports.com.
This is the sheet. Gets me all revved up. My face is now red. My ears are just freaking boiling.
He's so raw. Sky hates him. Yeah, he had 51 touchdowns. 4,900 total yards.
I know y'all like that, but I gotta run. And I'm in Alabama that day, so I have to say.
They're so good. Man,
Thank you, Rudy.
If they were in the Big Ten, you could be doing something vision-based in front of you and reach down and grab a handful of insane goodness.
Even to him, who knows, on Friday, Rodolfo, very good, Johnny. I'm proud of you. Wow, you guys agree? Yeah, I'm very impressed. You ever had a bad week? You know, you walk outside, step in a puddle, like right when you walk outside, and I just puddle up and stuff. Or you stand on the curb and somebody driving by and splashes water on you, or it's just raining on you, not anyone else.
I will tell you, before we go any further, I cannot hear Chad when he speaks.
Good. Here, listen to the sheet, man. I don't really know what we're doing.
Every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on WBLZ Sports.
Doug Pepper painting and pressure washing. He has over 30 years of painting experience. He's interior, exterior, commercial or residential. Doug Pepper covers it all. Is your house looking ugly? Call on Doug. Doug Pepper painting and pressure washing. 404-966-3361. Mention WBLZ Sports and get a special We've Got Balls discount. That's Doug Pepper painting and pressure washing. 404-966-3361.
Hello, everybody. This is Blake Cole, host of Off the Wall Baseball here on WBLZ Sports. If you love America's pastime, then join me every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern for the latest and greatest in the world of Major League Baseball.
Whether it be your industrial, commercial, or residential needs, Gen Service is the electrical contractor for you. The Gen Service team has the expertise, commitment, and educational years to help you solve your electrical concerns. They have you in their best interest with helpful suggestions to accommodate your every want. Give them a call no matter the size of the job at 740-438-7173. And mention WBLZ Sports, you will get a discount. That's Gen Service, 740-438-7173.
WBLZ Sports, we got sponsors and sponsorship.
Welcome back to the Rude Dog Show. No, this isn't the Rude Dog Slugger. This is a Louisville Slugger, and I actually had received one from Chris Mascaro, who does the Thursday Night Tailgate. Ain't she a beauty? Isn't this thing nice? Look at this. It's tall, it's long, it has my name on it, like right here. This is not something I use. This is just a prop, like anything else. But I'll tell you what, don't come knocking on my door at 1 a.m. I'm just throwing that out there. Oh, just kidding. Hey, welcome back to the Rude Dog Show. This is Rudy Reyes. You know, it's been a while. I've been trying to get this gentleman on. It almost seems like an eternity. But in all fairness, not really. Anyway, welcome to the Rude Dog Show. My sponsor, my compadre. That's the best I got, sorry. I don't know enough Spanish to get me out of Mexico. But welcome. Anthony Gilbert, new-game-plan.com, where you can change the way athletes look at you. Well, maybe you as well, but look at other agents as well. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, and I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome. I've been excited about this all day.
Well, that's good. Do not curb your enthusiasm. I can tell you that much. Good stuff. Hey, look, you know, I truly enjoy having you as a sponsor here on the show, first of all. Second of all, we talk constantly offline. And thirdly, your sponsorship means absolutely everything to the show and everybody who's listening as well, whether it's D1 talent, D2, or maybe Grandpa just got done mowing the lawn. So it's like I told you before, though. You got a fantastic platform. I absolutely love your show. So this is really a thrill for me as well. Oh, wow. I'm crushed. I don't know what to say. I'm falling apart here. I'm melting. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not melting. I'm still here. Hello, wave. I'm Facebook Live. Yeah, I can't be melting. Here, look, we're going to talk about some not so good stuff and some good stuff when we're talking about an NFL agent. You've had extensive schooling. You continue to better yourself through education, bettering yourself through awareness, a lot of reading, maybe some comedy stuff as well. I know you like some shows. I don't even watch the shows. I'm too busy watching my own show. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm not nationally syndicated, but look, internet radio seems to be the new medium, at least for a lot of people, and you can always create a platform for yourself, and clearly it's something that you've done with newgameplan.com. Let's talk about the specifics, because when I say specifics, let me be more, specific. When I'm talking about guys out there who are experienced, we'll talk about the negatives first, we'll go on the positives. The negatives of looking for an agent, and I've talked to a lot of them, just like you have. But what happens when a guy comes to you with a horror story and says, Anthony, I need your help? What type of help can you or have you shown to guys out there, student athletes that are trying to, I don't know, for lack of a better term, uncover the goodness to agents that they'd otherwise been thrown? Are you still with me? May have lost Anthony Gilbert. I guess the other agent got him before he had a chance to talk. I don't know. I hate it when that happens. Look, Anthony Gilbert does some great things. I personally can vouch for the types of horror stories. And I'm not just talking about him. I'm talking about all types of other agents as well who've given me horror stories about everything. Anything into systems by these rookie agents who think that, well, I can help you. But look, being an agent takes time. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes energy. And it takes proper education. Anthony, let's talk about the educational aspects for which you continue to dive into to help guys out there. What would be your message to guys out there if they're looking for an agent? What types of criteria should they be looking for?
Do you have me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, we going on to the first question or this one?
You can answer them both.
So basically, I started this adventure like 14 years ago. I was playing semi-pro football at the time, and I ended up putting a career path together, an educational plan, where I love football and I love business. And I wanted to basically get some more information about the agent industry. And that individual, which I will not name, his receptionist, I'm not going to blame him, but his receptionist were pretty rude to me and basically told me, please leave. And it was that day that I decided to go to law school and do it myself. And here it is several years later that I've watched this industry for the last 14 years. I'm not liking a lot of things that I'm seeing. So I decided to pursue this 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It'd be January 14. And I'm still it's very much in its infancy, but going a lot this year, and I like the aspect of being a boutique firm because a lot of agents come from large firms, and they got the capital to entice these kids to make these sign these standard rep agreements, and there's a lot of times that's a trap. And big case was on TMZ regarding that, and the player at that time, I haven't looked at it recently, had to pay back that $450,000 that was given in a Louis Vuitton bag. So I want to keep a boutique firm with honest, fair business practices where I can mentor these kids to make, because they're going to evolve as their career progresses. Because quite often you'll have a rookie right out of college. So he went from zero income to being, having, a few $100,000 to millions in the bank. And that's quite an adjustment to make all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm hoping to give that solid mentorship, that solid career advice, that solid negotiation skills that are required in these negotiations throughout the individual's career to help them avoid those pitfalls where 78% of NFL athletes are financially distressed 3 years after they're done playing. And there was another article that came out that 15% of NFL players end up filing bankruptcy within 10 years of being on the field. And on top of that, that study that did the 16% with the actual bankruptcy filing found absolutely no correlation with how much that player was making. So they could have been a $100 million contract guy or a $2 million contract guy. They could have fallen into this 16%. And I really feel that with proper guidance and mentorship, that a lot of these things could be avoided for the player.
Well, not only that, but it's them educating themselves, not allowing to be led to water and not being shown how to drink. And you can tell a player whatever you want. I mean, you have, I'm obviously not going to use any names because I know a lot of different agents, but when I work with some of them, you know, and I listen to their story and I listen to player stories, those two don't quite mesh up. What type of warning signs should these guys be looking for to disable them from further making any inquiries and maybe get out of Dodge and move on to something a little bit, well, for lack of a better term, more beneficial for them in the long run?
Well, as of right now, being that I'm in my infancy and a boutique firm, I haven't had the opportunity to have these kind of discussions with a lot of D1 players, which obviously is the majority of players coming into the NFL every year, and those are the ones that are the players that are the most competitive for NFL agents to attract, and that's where the capital comes in and the other creature features where they roll out the red carpet. I've been fortunate that I've met some fantastic young players, some hard workers, some with incredible work ethics that just, you know, blow my mind with how grounded they are. And I really believe that I found some truly quality guys that aren't going to blow their first paycheck on a McLaren.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind a McLaren either, but I don't have that kind of salary. I'm not going to try to drink, you know, champagne on a beer budget.
Yeah.
That's certainly not something that I do. But what are the positive rewards that you as an agent receive when these guys get to the next level, get to where they want to be, and not only where they want to be, where they have shown that they can be of a benefit not only to the team that they're playing on, but be able to contribute off the field as well?
Well, basically, as an NFL agent, and I had this discussion several times with a few clients, but basically, no NFL agent can get a player on an NFL team. The only thing that's going to get a player on an NFL team is their talent. And the whole role of the NFL agent, from what my research and everything that I've seen, has really been skewed over the last 30 or 40 years, basically 30 years from the 80s, where, you know, agents are throwing out the red carpet with relationships or they throw out the word family all the time, or they throw out, you know, money for this marketing advancements, or they throw out this premier training for anywhere from 12 to 50 grand, or all these creature features, which as a player, I mean, that's hard to turn away from. But the whole role of the agent is to actually represent the player in contract negotiations with the club. Some relationships are going to be beneficial as you have a longer longevity in the league, in the industry, but you don't need that relationship to negotiate a contract. That player's talent's going to get him an NFL squad. That player's looks or, you know, personality is going to land on that endorsement deal. And a lot of times, you know, like, a lot of players don't even know this. Less than 1% of NFL players will get a nationally recognized, like, endorsement deal, like a Nike, you know.
Well, I mean, endorsement deals are great and everything. If you can contribute inside of the locker room and not use FB Live, as we had seen with Antonio Brown through the postseason play this past, January, I look at his payday. It's absolutely huge. Look, one slight indiscretion, depending on who you are, if you've had multiple incidents as a player, whether you're at the high school level or at the collegiate level, that can ultimately affect your payday. It can. Again, we're talking about Rodolfo Reyes. We're talking about those negative actions that have basically contributed to why the Jets decided to contribute to what we're trying to accomplish here, and that is unity, passion for the game, drive to succeed, and having the knowledge to understand that, look, as an individual, I need to have a plan at the end of my journey, playing in the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, and more often than not, you got a lot of guys who clearly fail in regards to those aspects, and we're running out of time. Anthony, tell everybody where they can find you and your new game plan to get people on board with the reality of what it takes to get to the next level and stay there.
Well, sorry for all the tech issues, but the best way to contact me is 517-881-5312, or I could be reached at anthony.gilbert@newgameplan.com. I'm also on Twitter, which
You're on Twitter?
Very good with Anthony Agent 1 at Anthony Agent 1, and also I'm on LinkedIn, Anthony J. Gilbert.
Yeah, man, tweeting once in a while. That's good. But like I said, we've had this conversation before.
Well, with the tech issues today, I'm hoping we can do this again for a part 2.
yeah, there's always a part 2 and then part 3 and maybe part 4. Anyway, yeah, there's certainly be more parts, more pieces to the puzzle. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am out of time. This is Rudy Reyes, and of course, Anthony Gilbert. Yes, he does tweet. I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it again. I'll say it while he's on air. I think that works out very well. At Anthony Agent 1, he will tweet you. I don't know when, but he'll tweet you. But call him. Check out the game plan that he has. He's good at what he does. He handles what he needs to handle. And, of course, new-game-plan.com. And, of course, Rudy Reyes on the Rude Dog Show at WBLZSports.com. Yeah, man, I've had nothing but there's like massive types of wind going on here. Unfortunately.